So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was comprehending the absence. And before we begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names, so please have them in mind. It's in honor of Lauli Nishmat for Yosef ben Devora, Gabrielle Masauda bat Sarah, and Yosef Meir ben Avram Shmuel. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah, as well as a refuah shalema for Eliezer ben Miriam Rezo. May the person have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. So the topic of comprehending the absence. The reason I chose the topic, first, the wording of comprehending the absence. Obviously, I could have said understanding the absence, and people would think, oh, it's the same thing. But personally, when I was deciding on the topic, I actually came to the conclusion that there is a difference between comprehending and understanding. And I'll give a quick little breakdown of it right now. And that's comprehending is more intellectual and understanding is more logical. And you think, okay, what's the difference? The difference is that one is active while the other one is kind of passive. The understanding end is more passive, when comprehending is more active. It takes intellectual is significantly more active. You have to actively work on it and figure it out. And what is that? It's understanding the fact that one thing can happen. For instance, there's a topic in grade school. There's on the curriculum, it's reading comprehension. It's not reading understanding. That's not the thing. It's why. It's because reading comprehension is the ability to read and then tell it over, answer questions on it. I can actively ask you things on it, and you can actively do it. So that's why I chose comprehending the absence, because it's something that's a constant thing. It takes work, and it's gonna be something that's going to you're gonna have to be active on it. It's not a passive thing, especially with the topic of absence. So the angle I'm going in is, lately I've just been honestly, throughout the day, I'm perfectly fine. I can be laughing with friends. I can be at work. And out of nowhere, I'll just have this feeling of like sadness. Sadness just comes over me, and realizing that my younger brother is no longer here. And it's weird because it's like I'm not like in denial about it. Like I fully mourned it. It's an ongoing thing, obviously. But it also just throws everything off, because it's just like nothing triggered it. I'm just literally sitting at work, or I'm just chilling with friends, and then the feeling comes in. And it's just, at first it was really bothering me. I felt like something was wrong. Maybe like something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm in denial. And I've realized that no, it's not a fact of denial. The truth is, like, there's no sense of denial on it, because if anybody's got the most out of it, it's probably me and my mother. Like, we saw the body, we saw, like, we were there. Like, it was very real. It's not just go off words. So that's why it was bothering me. Like, what is it? It's not denial, but it's something. What is it? And generally, people would think that, the more distant you are, the less it'll affect. And the truth is, like, yes, did I know my brother was getting a motorcycle? 100%. I didn't know he was getting one, but I knew he had one. From family, from friends, I knew. But what did I do? I just distanced myself more. Not because I hated him. It's because I knew that it's not going to lead to anything good. And the safety measures of myself are what? It's distance myself so that it hurts a little less. If I'm not actively every single day communicating with the person, then okay, it's not going to hurt as much. And that was what was going on in my head, and the reason I decided to, be distant and, just not actively be around for all these things. It was just like, it was more protecting myself. And it was just a very tough thing to comprehend, when that's the very thing that keeps replaying, is the distance. But at the same time, it's like I fully chose the distance. I was fully aware of the distance and why I wanted the distance. It was very valid, and all those things. But truth be told, it didn't comfort it anymore. It didn't make things easier. It didn't make things smoother. It hurts the same, if not possibly even more. And, that's a tough thing to cope with and understand. And that's why I chose to make the topic on this, is because I feel like a lot of people, this isn't just in regards to a sibling or someone passing away, but rather it's the absence. It's the absence of someone. And whether you're close with them or not, it's just the ability that that call will never come anymore. It's gone. Like, they're actually absent. And when we fully get that, you're going to stop looking at it in a form of absence. It's like the person is not absent. Absent means, you didn't show up, but you'll show up tomorrow. You'll show up in a week from now. They're not showing up again. So it's no longer absent. And most of the time, people feel this certain way in regards to God, That's what really stems a lot of people's feelings towards God in a negative way, is the absence. Like, God wasn't there. God didn't show up when I needed him. He didn't help me out this time. Like, didn't do this, he didn't do that. Like, that's really where a lot of the hate, a lot of the anger, a lot of the frustration comes from towards God. Is just a feeling of feeling like neglected, left alone, abandoned. And that comes from it's completely a valid reasoning and point, but the truth is it's not that straightforward. It's not that straightforward. It's not just like, God didn't show up, so that's this, and there's a reason for that, and this is the reason. Is it justified? 100%. 100% it's justified. You feel this way, and that's why you're acting this way. 100% it's justified. But justified doesn't make it right. And when you fully get that, when you start understanding that justified doesn't make it right, it doesn't matter if it's justified or not. That's just an excuse you're telling yourself. Sure, someone stole from you, so you can, steal from them back. Justified? Sure. Right? No. And when you realize that, you're realizing there's a lot of things that you're judging God and basing God on, and rejecting God for things that the truth is, like, you're the reason for it. You're the answer. You have the answer that you're asking. You're asking the questions, and a lot of people, unfortunately, they're just asking questions not for the answers. They're asking questions for the validation. It's like, I'm gonna keep asking this question until I get the answer I want to hear. And that's why they'll go to rabbis with questions. They'll go to adults. They'll go to other people. They'll go to friends. But the truth is, they internally they know the answer. They have it. They have the answer. They have the full ability to get to the conclusion themselves. Between them and God, they have the full capability of it. But it's a lot easier to just resent and justify it. And then, that's the reason I did this. So when you fully get that, you'll understand that the only people you need in life, the only person you need is yourself. You only need yourself. And the best part is, you're not alone. It's literally you and God. And when you look at that in that kind of way, you understand that when you're on the floor, God's right next to you. When you start looking at God in that kind of way, like, God's right next to me. You're going to watch what you do. Like, for instance, I want to go, let's say a person wants to go clubbing. Okay. But then it's like, the realization that I'm with God. God's right next to me. Am I really going to go clubbing with God? No, I should probably, but God's not going to ditch me. Whether I choose to go or not, God's with me. So now you start looking at it like, you know what? That's why I like the friend basis. Is imagine you have a friend that doesn't drink. Chances are you're not going to take him to a bar and just go drinking. It's not going to happen. Or you might go to the bar, but you're not going to drink. You're going to make that effort to, hey, he doesn't drink, or he's not comfortable, this or that, or like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to help him out, support him. The same thing goes with God. So what, you're going to really go to the club and enjoy, and meanwhile, you're going to, that God's right there with you. God's right there. It's just going to be like, oh, shoot. Or it's like, if you're knocked down, it's like, oh, I know God's down. Let me help him up. And a lot of people have that thing in them that they can help others before they help themselves. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's how you counter absence and abandonment. It's understanding that God is always with you, regardless of if things are going well or not. God's always with you. Happy, bad, good times, bad times. So again, Lulei Nishmat, Yosef Ben Devora. Gabrielle Masoud de Batsara, and Yosef Meir ben Avram Shmuel. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah, as well as a refuah shalema for Eliezer ben Miriam Razel. May the person have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. Thank you.